Tick-a-tock. Tick-a-tock-tock. Tick-a-tock. Tick-a-tock-tock. All these conversations filled with doubt. We dismiss what we can't figure out. I don't have to see it to believe in it. I know that it's true 'cause I'm feeling it. I don't need no one to agree with it. There's just so much proof in my life. I know it's you in every mountain that you move. Oh, I love the way that you do the things you do. No one can deny what I have seen with my own eyes. So I thank you for this miracle. You keep coming through every time, showing off my wonders time after time. I don't have to see it to believe it. I know it's true 'cause I feel it. I don't need no one to agree with it. There's so much proof in all our lives. You know it's you in every mountain that you move. Oh, I love the way you do the things you do. No one can deny what I can see with my own eyes. Thank you for this miracle. 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 Okay. So maybe you're out there and you're like going through something right now. I mean, like something hard, and maybe you can't even talk to somebody about it because it's so hard. Your miracle is there. Your miracle is standing right there in front of you, just waiting to like love up on you. Over and over and over and over again. We see the miracle. Open your eyes, my friend. Over and over and over and over again. We feel that miracle coming again. Well, I know it's you in the mountains that move. I love the way you do the things you do. No one can deny what I see with my own eyes. Oh, you know it's true. Thank you for this miracle. It's you. It's breathing. It's living. It's singing. It's clapping. It's joking. It's loving. It's being. It's nowing. It's smiling. It's dancing. It's everything. Everything's a miracle. It's you. 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 It's you.
You know, whenever I hear the words Holy Spirit, I gotta think of Levon, because the Holy Spirit is in her for sure, and it's in all of us. Yeah, woo! Oh man, that was so good. Sorry, I'm just dancing a lot. I gotta catch my breath. Woo! Okay. Well, it is my pleasure to introduce our guest speaker today is Rabbi Olivier BenHaim, and he is a rabbi of Bet Alef, And Bet Alef is actually partnering with us, and they're having their services in our building. So if you ever want to find out more and come check them out, then you definitely should do that. It is a meditative synagogue that's here. And Rabbi Olivier, he is an integrally, it sounds like intergalactical, but he's that too. He's an integrally informed teacher who promotes a Jewish spirituality that is supportive with an integration of mind, body, and spirit. And he likes to do spiritual practice, including guided and silent meditations, mystical dance, and ecstatic music. So mystical chant, I should say, mystical chant and ecstatic music. Yeah. And so he's a delight and an honor. He's full of love and joy, and it is my pleasure to welcome him here today.
Okay. There is no way I can say anything after all of this. There is absolutely, it's not possible. After such a powerful song that uplifted the room, I thought the building was starting to fly. I think maybe it did. Did you notice? Yeah. And I was just vibrating with the you of that song, the capital Y of you, that is you. That is you and everything that is you, and that you that is actually an I, that you that is also a we. It's a kind of a you that is all encompassing, all infusing. It's the great thou that is never out there, but that is always in here and surrounding all of us. And I just so deeply appreciated that song. And actually, I think I'd like to start with a little bit of silence, because I don't think words can follow that soul opening that the music and the words of the song allowed. So just maybe close your eyes for a second and find your breath. And just feel still the vibrations of that which inspires, that is inspirited. That's where the word inspire comes from. Filled with spirit. Fill into the you, that is every you, that is every I, that is every we. It expresses in community, it expresses in the threads that connect us, the heart threads that are always there. The miracle of now, the miracle of here, of this heartbeat right now. Did you feel it? What a miracle. Sometimes I wonder at all the things that have to happen in each and every one of our bodies for us to be just able to continue second after second to just exist. Thank God we are unconscious of all of it, because it would be so overwhelmingly awesome that it might just petrify us. Every atom, every molecule working in unison. Right now, unbeknownst to us. The concept of miracle is such an ancient concept. It is so infused in the very soul of every human being that you can find it since the beginning of times. I believe, in the beginning of human times. And it is obviously replete in all of the millennia-old texts of the Jewish Bible, of the Torah. We find it. We find it, if you remember, when Charlton Heston split the Red Sea, or maybe it was Moses, but I just get all of them just confused. The splitting of the Red Sea, one of the most known is the blast of the shofar, where Joshua sounded the ram's horns and the walls of Jericho came tumbling down, which were the walls around our hearts, really. They had nothing to do with the walls out there. They had everything to do with the walls in here. In Judaism, we have miracles through the Middle Ages, the golem of the Maharal of Prague. We believe, actually, many of us, that the creation of the state of Israel also was a modern miracle. The Hebrew that tries to convey what the English calls miracle actually doesn't talk of that word as miracle. We see it everywhere in biblical times where the word that is used, and there are actually many, many words that are used for miracles, because Judaism and the Jewish Bible see gradations of miracles. Why? Because the awareness is that everything at every moment is a miracle, and it is our task to discern what level of miracles we are witnessing in that moment. The word that is used in Hebrew, or the words that are used in Hebrew, always point to what we would translate as signs, wonders. Signs as if messages from source, from the universe. Wonders as in events in our life that are meant to drop us into a state of awe. To rediscover within ourselves that sense of awe and wonderment, not just when something out of the ordinary happened, but in every moment, in every second. And so there really aren't any kind of miracles in the Jewish scriptures. What they are signs along the path of spiritual evolution. That's really where miracles, quote unquote, signs and wonders happen in the stories of our ancestors. I'll give you an example. I was talking about Charlton Heston and splitting of the Red Sea, but just before that, if you know the story of the Jewish Bible, there were 10 plagues in Egypt. 10 plagues in Egypt. And most of us have come to learn about those 10 plagues as being visited, the wrath of God being visited upon the Egyptians, so that Pharaoh, who had hardened his heart, would let the enslaved Hebrews go. Let my people go. But actually, our sages don't see that story like that at all. This is not actually what the text is meant to evoke within us. The story is that the plagues were meant not to attack or destroy Egypt, but they were meant to awaken a sense of awe and wonderment in the Hebrew slaves themselves. Why? Why? Because the Torah tells us that what we suffered from, what the Israelites suffer from, was what's in Hebrew is called kotzer ruach. The word kotzer is, in modern electrical terms, would be a short. Right? There's an electrical short. And the Hebrews, the Israelites, suffered from a short in ruach, in their spirit, in their spirituality. They had been enslaved for so many hundred years that their focus was solely on survival. And when your consciousness is collapsed in the everyday trying to survive generation after generation, oftentimes you lose the greater connection with source, with spirit. It's really not something that you are preoccupied with. And over time, after so many generations, that almost had been severed. And the divine understood that when Moses showed up at the doorsteps of Pharaoh and said, "Let my people go," there actually was almost an uprising against Moses. He said, "Now we can't go. All that we have ever known for generations is this state of being. That is who we are. That's who we have become." People came to identify with their slavery so much that they couldn't see any other way of living and being. I'm reminded right now of a quote from Harriet Tubman who said, "I could have saved thousands more if I could have convinced them they were slaves." Because again, you fall into this pattern that you think this is the normal way of being. After so many generations, that's who you've become. That's who you are. And so God sent the 10 plagues to display in the eyes of the Israelites a greater sense of awe and wonderment, to remind them that there were more to their lives than what they had collapsed into being, that there was a greater dimension of existence that they had forgotten, that there was a short in their consciousness, that they could no longer see the awe and wonderment of what life was meant to be. And so the 10 plagues were for us. They were for us. And see how the Jewish Bible uses miracles? They're meant to awaken within us this awe, this wonderment, but at the same time, this yearning for life, for our life to shift, to break from a status quo, from a place of stuckness, which actually is the understanding of the Hebrew for Egypt, a place of stuckness. And all of us are in Egypt at some point or another in our lives. And in Egypt is a place of stuckness, and all of us find ourselves here and there in those kind of places, and we need a shift in consciousness. And that shift in consciousness in the Hebrew language and the Hebrew understanding is itself a miracle. That paradigm shift, that something else is possible, that there is light outside of the darkness that we no longer know we are enveloped by. So all of those are great ideas and concepts, and we can play and talk about them. But I want to bring it down. I want to bring it down and make it concrete, because we think of miracles and it's always otherworldly. It's always an intervention from a place that we had never experienced before, that shocks us into a different kind of perspective. But I want to bring it down. I want to bring it right here between us. Here, all of you who are sitting here today, all of you who are sitting at home, maybe witnessing this, participating in this, and letting it flow through you as well. I want you to feel into the impossibility of this very moment. This moment is impossible, and yet here it is. Why is it impossible? What are the odds? I'm asking you directly. What are the odds that you would be here right now engaging in this morning gathering? What are the odds that you would be sitting in this chair or wherever you are at home? What are the odds that you would have connected to this service this morning? Think about all the threads in your life, where you were born, the experiences you had to experience, the people you had to meet, the books you had to read, the coffee you had at this coffee shop instead of that coffee shop, the plane you got on where you should have gotten on another one, but you didn't know, the decisions you've made, the decisions that everybody else in your life made that impacted you. Think about what it took for you to be sitting here right now, how impossible that is. And yet here you are. But now multiply that with every other person who is here sitting right now. And what is the impossibility of them being here right now? And you being here right now at home or wherever you are connecting, can you see the impossibility, the miracle of now? You know where I was born? I was born in Marseille, which is a city on the southern coast of France. Do you think that I was growing up in that part of the world? I knew for sure that one day on a Sunday morning at 11:34, I would be standing in front of a group of American people in Seattle as the rabbi of a non-dual mystical Jewish community. What is the impossibility that you and I would be talking to each other this morning? It's impossible. Do you feel the miracle of now? And this miracle of now, is as tangible at this moment is. It happens to you every single moment. But we are not trained to know it. We are not trained to recognize it. We are trained to see every aspect of our life, the grocery shopping, the being stuck in traffic, the getting on an airplane, all of that as just mundane. Well, I would argue that there is no such a thing as mundane. I think we should erase that word from the dictionary. If we ever believe that our life are mundane, that our life are just one happening after another, that we supposedly are in control of and then direct, stop lying to ourselves. Every single moment is an awesome miracle. And when we start to acknowledge that, when we start to let ourselves, our heart, be available to seeing the miracle of every second, of every encounter, every sunrise, sunset, 5 seconds or 5 hours in traffic, it just drops us into this state of wonderment and awe. One of the greatest rabbis of the 20th century, Rabbi Joshua Heschel, said, awe, wonderment is the spark of any spiritual journey, the first step on any spiritual journey. It has to start with this sense of awe, this sense of wonderment. Short of that is all intellectual chatter. It's all intellectual chatter. The problem is that modernization has caused our universe, our world to become disenchanted. Modernity has made us cogs into a social economic machine that we are asked to produce for and consume for, and has disenchanted not only ourselves as human beings, but also all the natural world around us, which is why we've allowed ourselves to plunder it for our own use. We have disenchanted the world around us. We have forgotten how much of a miracle, how enchanted this universe actually is. Thomas More, one of my favorite authors, maybe he's an actor too, I don't know, wrote a book that to me is, just the title of it is worth a week-long meditation retreat. He wrote a book called The Re-Enchantment of Everyday Life. And that's really what we're talking about today. The re-enchantment of everyday life, to reclaim that sense of awe, that, like I opened with, that every atom, molecules in our body is working so that we can be alive moment to moment. Can we drop into this kind of amazing miracle of our bodies, of what surrounds us, of our life experiences? Can we see the universe around us, the nature that surrounds, the gorgeous nature that surrounds us here in the Northwest specifically, as a living, breathing, enchanted space in which we are blessed to live our lives. Our interconnection with the trees that breathe out what we breathe in and breathe in what we breathe out. Come on. That what we are, scientifically is proven, what we are breathing in today is a little bit of what the dinosaur breathed out millions of years ago. Come on. But it's hard, it's hard to keep all of this in consciousness as you stand in line at the grocery store when you're like, okay, this is not awesome. This is awful, really. Maybe we can add an E to awful and really kind of like, even what is awful is all filled with awe. I want to close. I want to leave you today with this practice, because really, to me, it's really a transformative practice to see the impossibility of now, in every encounter, in every person we meet, in every space we inhabit. You're sitting in this chair, and because you're sitting in this chair, you get a very specific perspective on what's happening this morning. And you're sitting in this chair perhaps because you came in late and somebody sat in the other chair that you might have thought you could sit in. So you're stuck with sitting in another chair, and therefore you are getting a complete different perspective on what's going on right now. And only you has the perspective on this moment, in this room or wherever you are connecting. And because you're sitting in that chair, because you are embodying the space that you are claiming, you have changed everybody else's experience. Do you know that? Because they couldn't sit in the chair you're in. Only you is having that experience. And so you have changed everybody else's experience. It's like the butterfly effect. Do you know about that? Like everything that happens just changes the world. So if we could find it in ourselves to make ourselves available to that sense of awe, to re-enchant our life and the universe, if we could see every moment as the impossible miracle that it is, because of our awareness, because of that consciousness, because of this paradigm shift within us, within you, we will change the world. Amen.